I know I'm definitely the last person you would expect to be discussing a topic about if someone should consider studying nursing or not. Because I feel I'm basically a poster child for, oh, nursing is an amazing profession. I love nursing. Nursing is great. Nursing is amazing. I'm always coming from the positive point of view as regards nursing as a profession, because I'm not going to lie, I love nursing and I enjoy being a nurse. But I would also be very, very wrong if I choose not to acknowledge the fact that there are a lot of people living nursing in droves in every part of the world. Back where I come from in Nigeria, where I practice now in UK, all over the world, people are leaving nursing. People are going on strike. There are a lot of reasons why people are leaving nursing. So this is 2025. This is a new year. There might be people who want to come into nursing as a profession. So we're going to be discussing if nursing is worth it, the type of challenges you should expect to face in nursing, no matter where you are in the world, and if you should even risk it at all, especially if you're coming from a different career or you have other options that you could pick. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, hi, my name is Imolia Yobosari. I am a Nigerian currently living and practicing nursing in the United Kingdom. And on this channel, I talk about nursing, healthcare, and sometimes my lifestyle generally as a nurse. In today's video, just like I earlier said, we're going to be discussing if nursing is worth studying or if it is still worth being a nurse in 2025. Last year, there were a lot of things that happened. Let me start from Nigeria, where I'm from, where the Nursing and Midwifery Council put a cap of 2 years on every registered nurse in Nigeria before they can even think of practicing outside Nigeria or relocating to anywhere aside from Nigeria. And this is a country where the take-home pay of nurses is bad majorly. I'm not even going to lie about it. A lot of nurses do not earn enough to even feed themselves, talk more of their families and, you know, their extended families, or do things that they would love to do, or to achieve their personal goals and objectives in life and all of that. Although there are some nurses in Nigeria that still earn well, you know, people that are working with NGOs, people that are working with big companies, occupational health nurses, people who work offshores, people who are in certain specialties and are able to get some kind of job in some non-conventional hospitals, like, you know, people who work with expatriates and things like that. But the percentage of nurses who earn well in Nigeria is definitely little when compared to the amount of nurses who do not earn well and those who even find it difficult to get a job to start with. So that cap, that 2-year cap, really made a lot of people unhappy, made a lot of people discouraged in my home country, and people are like, do I even need to study nursing if I have to wait 5 years in uni, 2 extra years? That's like 8 years of my life before I can even think of going somewhere else. Because let's be honest, nurses who migrate out of Nigeria go to work in first world countries, work in countries like where I work now, UK, people who work in US, people who work in Canada, you know, different places, Australia, they significantly have a stronger financial advantage. That's how I'm going to put it. They earn better than their counterparts back home, and they have more opportunities placed before them. That puts them on a better level, or on a better place, if they use the opportunities well. Because if you don't use the opportunities well, you might be worse off people that are still living back home. It might sound funny, but that's the truth. So the fact that people more like they anticipate the opportunity to get those kind of jobs, and now there's a 2-year cap, there are so many, it's now becoming more and more expensive to even leave Nigeria, is discouraging a lot of people, and people are thinking, okay, probably they are not gonna study nursing anymore. Because let's be sincere, a lot of people, though people study nursing for passion, but a lot of people also consider the pay when they want to study nursing. That is in Nigeria. Aside Nigeria, there were different news of strike in UK, in Australia, people were quitting. I saw different YouTube videos of nurses coming out to say that they were broke. And these are even in the first world countries that a lot of us are even looking up to go. A lot of Nigerians or people that I know are even praying to get to. So what exactly is going on in nursing? So first, let's start taking the issues that are present in practicing nursing and possible ways that you might be able to avoid these problems if you're a nurse or if you intend to become a nurse. So the first issue is burnout. I'm not saying the hours that you have to stay in the hospital. For example, my shifts are either 12 long hours during the day or 12 long hours during the night. So you stay in the hospital for long hours, attending to a lot of people, talking to relatives, working with other healthcare professionals. It is very, very tiring. I'm not gonna lie. I love my job, but there's a lot of physical and mental strength that you require before you can actually successfully complete your task as a nurse. You're running IVs, you're running oral medications, you're trying to discharge somebody, you're trying to do a package of care. There's so many things you're having to do, and the patient to nurse ratio, God, some words you could have like a shift where you have like one nurse to 13 patients. In Nigeria, you could have like a nurse to an entire ward. So the workload is much. There's a lot of emotional stress that goes into it, and that can easily lead to burnout. It is real, it is true. So if you're a nurse, if you still want to become a nurse, have it at the back of your mind that you may experience burnout. A very good way to avoid this is to make sure that you're working in a place that you at least enjoy the job most of the time. You are not going to enjoy your job every day. There will be days that you will come back home and you cry. I've had those days. Even in the UK, there have been days that I'll come back home, I'll cry, I'll be so sad because of things that happened at work. But to how do I put, to combat burnout, try to make sure you're working in a place that you at least enjoy what you're doing. You're in a specialty that you at least enjoy what you're doing. Do you get my point? So if it would require you to even leave your home and move to a different city, a different town, a different country, a different continent entirely to enjoy the job that you're doing, please do it as a nurse. I'm not saying you should be disloyal to whoever has helped you to become a nurse, or to a country that has probably sponsored you, anywhere, any school that sponsored you or giving you opportunity to become a nurse, but not at the cost of your mental health. So burnout, make sure you are in a place where you enjoy the job most of the time. Next issue with nursing is the fact that people complain about the pay. The pay is very little compared to, like, see, when I talk about nursing salary, especially if you've watched my previous video, when I talk about the pay of nurses, I try to encourage people to compare the salary of a nurse to the minimum wage in a particular country, and not picking the salary of a nurse in one continent and compare it to the salary of a nurse in another continent. You're going to mix up a lot of things if you do it that way. So, but when you compare the salary of nurses to minimum wage or to the average earning in most countries, it is usually like in the middle or just below the middle. No matter where in the world you're comparing it, even if you're saying, oh, some nurses are earning so much of dollars in the United States, if you try to compare those big dollars you're mentioning to the rent prices of cars, prices of food, prices of clothes, prices of everything you would need to live as a human being, at the end of the day, you're still going to find yourself in that either middle class or like lower middle class if you're not careful. So the pay is another issue that people complain about. So more or less like avoid falling into depression because of pay, here are things that you might consider doing. Number one, try to specialize. Although specializing in some countries may require you to have worked for a nurse for some while, or to have gained some experience in a particular field, or probably take some courses or some exams in a particular field before you can get into that specialty. But trust me, it is a very good investment, because nurses who are specialized tend to earn more than general nurses, or nurses who just work on the floor, nurses who just work on the ward. So we are thinking about, you can even start your own business as a nurse, which gives you some form of independence to control how you work, like the number of hours that you work. You can control your income, and you can basically employ other people to reduce the workload. Like, if you're very smart and you understand business, please don't just jump into business if you have not learned about business. Running business and being a nurse are two different things. You can be a nurse and not be a good businesswoman. You can be a good businesswoman and not be a good nurse. So it's not the same thing. Don't mix it up. So you can start a business, you can specialize, you can also move to a place where nurses tend to earn better and the cost of living is lower compared to where you are previously. So take, for example, if you're in Nigeria and you live in a place like Lagos, you might want to move out of Lagos and go to like maybe somewhere like Akure, or go to somewhere like Owo, like go somewhere like Anambra. Like, where you know that you still earn, like go to hospitals where you earn like a fairly good amount and the cost of living is lower, so that there would be a gap between how much you earn and how much you spend, and you can easily either save up what's left over to invest in other goals that you have, or to migrate or do things like that. Another thing you can do is to be realistic with yourself and do not live above your means. Yes. See, this is going to sound like I'm being a loser and I'm being a bad person, I'm being negative. You cannot afford everything in this world. You need to decide on what is important, what you need to have, and what you just want to have. And, do what you need to, or buy what you need to have, pay for the things you need first, then you can just like pick your wants like one after the other. You can't just buy everything at once. You want to graduate this year, buy car the next year, buy house the following year. Like, you try want to do everything. You don't even want to start from a regular car. You want to go for Lamborghini straight. You want to go for Tesla. Be realistic with yourself. You're a salary earner. It is sad, but that's just the reality. You can't have everything. So don't over expect, don't overestimate what you can earn, because with that, if you're not careful, you just keep getting into debt. You just keep buying things that you don't need, accumulate a lot of debt because you want to show off money that you don't have, to impress people that don't even like you or don't even care about you. So live within your means, specialize, try to start a business, and understand how to manage your finances properly. Another issue that nurses face now is that there is issues with work-life balance. So in some countries, like here, I've noticed that people are, it's possible to reduce your hours, which obviously will reduce your earnings, but you just have to find what works for you. I'm not even going to lie. There are people who prefer the long days and long nights so that they can have some days off to do whatever they want, while some people just prefer the regular, outpatient departments where they go to work 9 to 5 and that is it. While some people don't just want to work permanent night shifts, some people just want to work permanent day shifts. So try your best to find a specialty, a unit, don't like just get stuck in one place. Because you got a job in one ward does not mean you have to spend all your 35 years or all your years of being a nurse on that particular place. Move around to find what works for you. Another issue with nursing is a lack of career support. I'm not going to lie, probably because nursing is a female dominated profession, and women are known to have some type of emotional issues, where sometimes very hostile to each other. Like a place where you have a lot of women, you can already tell what to expect. So a lot of people, they get they get bullied at work. There would be like, how do I put it, people like seniors, this hierarchy, seniors bullying juniors, juniors being rude to seniors. It happens almost everywhere. And what I'll just say is, at the end of the day, if you notice that somebody is bullying you at work, you just need to like know what is more important to you. Is the pay more important to you than the emotional trauma you're facing at work? Or you want to leave that place, go to where they might even pay lesser, but you have your peace of mind? You just have to find what works for you. That's just it. Finally, if you're someone that you're watching me now and you're just about to start nursing and you're not sure if nursing is for you, but you still want to be in healthcare, you can decide to research on courses that do not require direct patient care. Mind you, these professions will still have their challenges. They just might be different from challenges that nurses have. Maybe you can go and try out things like radiology, I don't know, go study medical laboratory science. Physiotherapy is also direct patient care anyway. Phlebotomy trainings, like there are people who are working as phlebotomists, at least where I am. You can research on other healthcare professionals. You can even go into public health. You could go into occupational health, which you don't necessarily have to be on the floor, like on the ward. So you can look out to other healthcare professions that you can probably go into if nursing is exactly not for you. But if nursing is for you, you're thinking that, okay, I think I can still go into nursing, I can still survive in this profession, I can still make something good out of this profession. I'm going to tell you one major fact that I've realized after I've become a nurse. Nursing is not going to give you everything you want. If you're coming into nursing for money, then you need to have money yourself to fund your dream. because there are it's going to sound funny, like you came to nursing for money and you also need money to be a nurse. For example, if you're coming from somewhere like Nigeria now and you want to study in Nigeria and you want to practice outside Nigeria, the process for practicing outside Nigeria now is becoming very expensive. You might need millions of naira. So before you can get that nursing money, you might need to spend money first. You might need to give nursing some money before you can get out the money you need from nursing. You might need to take courses. You might need to, go back to school, write exams that would be very expensive. So at the end of the day, you have to use money to look for money, even when nursing is required. Like gone are those days when if you finish school, immediately you get a job, and once you get that job, you start paying big money and you're fine, you're living large, you have a house, you have a car, you have everything that you need or everything that you could think to be wealth. So it's a lot. I know it's a lot. People are still coming into nursing, people are leaving. Is it worth it to 2025? It depends on you. It depends on what you want. I'm not going to sugarcoat nursing. Nursing is tough, but you will survive. All right, so happy new year, guys. This is actually my first video for 2025, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.